Hello, everyone out there. It's time for another snippet from the Ella Johnson Show. Listen, what else is going on in America that everyone is talking about? The election. So that's what I'm going to talk about too, except tonight. Tonight, I think it's appropriate to call the show Whiners and Wieners. And Winners. I like that. Whiners, Wieners, and Winners. But listen, there are some people that are whiners, and they're just getting on my nerves. There are some people that are wieners. They have no balls. And then you have those people that are winners. They're doing it for the country. Okay? Let's start talking a little bit about the whiners. The Trump campaign. Okay, I know last week we talked about this, and I said he doesn't have to concede, because he really doesn't. Because January 20th, by December 8th, after everyone has certified their states, January 20th, midnight, Trump is out, whether he wants to or not. I don't care if they have to drag him out of there. And you know what? It may come to that. He won't even come out and address the country that is dying. The country that he swore to protect, well, it's dying. COVID cases are at an all-time high. He doesn't want to talk about that. He is so fixated on this election that he has lost. Since we're talking about whiners, in Pennsylvania, let's start there. He was supposed to have this hearing. They wanted to have a hearing to present the evidence. They wanted to go to the judge and say, look, this is the evidence that we have. And they had allowed them to have that hearing on Thursday. Well, guess what? Judge Brand today said, nah, we ain't trying to hear that. Canceled it. Now, let's talk about Michigan. How many of you have heard about what happened last night in Michigan? Let me just give you guys just a little history here. Whenever there's an election, you go out and you vote and you do all of this because they tell you to vote. Cast your vote. That's true. You do that. They have 4 people. They have 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats. Okay? Last night, the Republicans were like, nah, we're not certifying. Now, let me tell you why everyone was alarmed by that. You know that for a state to officially say that someone won that state, it has to be certified, right? All states have to certify. And when they certify, what that does is just confirms that, yeah, the people want Joe Biden. Clearly they wanted Joe Biden because in Michigan, he won by 146,000 votes. Okay, it doesn't get any clearer than that who Michigan wants to be their president, right? Well, when it came time to vote, these idiots, okay, the Republicans, they were like, nah, there's just too many errors. So the Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, she's like, listen, bro, those are clerical errors. That's minor stuff. There's no fraud. See, they were trying to look for any excuse they could not to certify because they know their boy Trump is watching. And he's already said he doesn't want Michigan to get certified. I'm sure his cronies, they're all busy. Oh boy, we've never had, you want to see some dirty stuff? Keep your eyes open. Okay? So they said no. No, we're going to vote not to do it. Laverna Barnes. She was like, you know what? That is just blatant racism. The people have spoken. Now, what county was it, Ella? It was Wayne County. Well, who lives in Wayne County? All of us. Yeah. That's Detroit, Michigan. Because, it's so funny. I want you guys who love to say, Trump cares about the black people. Ella, he's done more for the black people than any other president. I said it was rubbish then, and it's still rubbish. If he cares so much about you, then why does he want to silence you? Because you realize that when someone takes your vote away, or when you give it away, you are silenced. You do know that. He should be proud. He loves you so much. He wants you to have so much good in your life. He wants you to be successful. Isn't that what Jared Kushner said? He can't want you to be more successful than you do. Come on now. You guys don't see through that. See, I saw through it a long time ago. I'm just going to be real. I saw through it. But some of y'all were just sold on this whole rhetoric. He's done more. He's done more for the black than any other president. He likes to control people, is what he does. He does not want you to have power, because then you may start thinking like Barack, that you could be president one day. Now, listen, let me just be honest with you. It's okay for you to get a piece of the pie. But now when you start wanting the whole pie yourself, nah, we got to shut you down. We got to shut your oven down. Your voice is your oven that bakes the pie that he wants to steal. I'm just saying. But anyway, guys, so that's Michigan. So guess what happened? After all of the going back and forth, the Democrats like, what? How dare you? No, these people have voted. They have made their choice. They want Biden. 146,000 votes. Are you crazy? You're going to go now and tell the people we chose Trump, or we're not going to certify? Are you serious? The people have clearly spoken. They've made their votes. The electoral group has said, yes, we choose Biden. What is going on in Georgia? Ugh. Okay, guys, let's just kind of break it down in Georgia. If you don't know anything, you do know that there's going to be a runoff election, okay, in Georgia next year. And the two races, this is going to decide who will control the Senate. But if we control the House and the Senate, now we'll be able to get some things done that the Democrats really need to get done in our government so that it can move forward with Joe Biden as the president. Now, here's where we are. Right now, the Democrats have 48. This is what I was saying about if we were going to rig the election, why didn't we rig it there to make sure we secured spots in the House and the Senate? Democrats have 48 right now. Republicans have 50. Now, those two elections, let's just say the Democrats win both. Now we're 50-50. We're tied. Guess who breaks that tie? Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is the one who will break that tie, and now the Democrats will control the House and the Senate. That is power, and that is where we need to be. So, for that to happen, Georgia, you guys are going to have to come out. Let me tell you though, the Republicans, you know they cheat. How many of you guys heard about Graham? Graham called up the Secretary of State. And you know, privately, he's probably like, look at here. What you gonna do? The Secretary of State's like, what do you mean, brother? What you gonna do? I don't quite understand. Now, you know, this is not exactly how the conversation went. This is my version. Well, we just kind of know, you know, what are you going to do? How are you going to help us out? He's just like, what are you suggesting I do? Well, I mean, you know, there's got to be a way you can squeeze on some of these ballots that you might not have been able to match. Now, listen, those are legal ballots that were cast. And this fool, I call him a fool, it's my show. This fool said, well, you know, basically find a way to get him thrown out. They will do anything to win. This is what I can't stand about people that love to try to make it seem like they're all that, but you cheat. And the little skinny lady, what's her name? Loeffler. She's running up against Reverend Raphael. And she said that what she's going to do, because, you know, they had a little conversation the other day on a phone call, and they were laying out their strategy. They're really scared of Abrams. Stacey, do your thing, girl. They are scared of you. I'm telling you. Listen, one thing I know for a fact, and this is just historical. If you don't like it, then just, you get over it. But this is real. One thing historically that Caucasians do not like is when black people unify. This is a historical fact. This is way back from slavery. Why do you think they had house niggas and field niggas? Why do you think they did that? They were starting to divide from jump. They wanted They wanted us to feel like, they wanted the slaves to feel like, well, you're a slave, but you're a better slave than he is. No matter what, at the end of the day, you're all slaves. Just because you get to get in the house and because you might be a little lighter skinned, to them, you're still a nigga. And that's real. I don't like using the word, but I have to do it so we can get some good understanding here. I'm not trying to be all so, political right now. I'm being real. So what they didn't want to do is they do not like you to be unified. And let me tell you how they use you. I know I'm going off topic here, but I'll get back to where I need to be. Let's go off topic a little bit here. How many of you guys remember Nat Turner? He got his brothers together and they're like, no, we gonna go around, we just gonna kill folks. We tired of this. I can imagine Nat Turner saying that. We're tired of this. We're not doing any of their work anymore. We're taking over. And do you know what happened after they finally captured him and, they killed him? Of course, they killed a lot of blacks in the process as they were looking for Nat Turner because they were trying to make a statement. But they made it then where whenever the blacks had a church service, they had to show up. They wanted to see because they didn't want to teach you how to read anymore either. They needed to know what you were learning. They needed to know what the black ministers were saying to the black congregation. They needed to know because they were like, look, what Nat did, we can never have that again. Well, what did Nat do? He unified his people because he felt bad because they used him. They used him just like they used 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, Steve Harvey, people like that. They used them because what they did, even in slavery times, guys, nothing changes. It just repeats itself. History repeats itself. Yes, it does. So what they did is, just to give you a little background information about Nat Turner, for those of you that might not know, they used Nat Turner because they said, you know what? These slaves ain't acting right. They out here thinking they can do what they want to do and trying to tell us what they don't want to do. Oh, no. We got to put a stop to that. Well, they didn't use some white preacher to go in there and try to tell the slaves to obey your masters. They used a brother. This is exactly what they do now. They use us against one another. So they use Nat to go in there and to get them to do as the master said. And they use the Bible to do it. Why do you think every time a politician, white politician, wants a whole bunch of black people to vote for him, they come to the church? No, they want to get you in your safe place, the church. And they use that. Guys, listen. We have to understand our history and understand how Trump used a lot of people to try to get what he wanted. Now that he didn't get what he wanted, which was to be president again, he doesn't need you anymore. He's not going to be so happy and willing to help black people. He was using you. I mean, as far as the presidential election, that's a done deal. It's a wrap. The states are going to certify by December 8th. They all have to have certified. A lot of states, they have different dates when they certify. But by December 8th, they all have to be certified. And that's how we confirm that Biden really is the president. Right now, he's president-elect, but he will officially be president once all of the states have certified. And that's to be done by December 8th. But this election in Georgia will decide if the Democrats will run the House and the Senate. It's a very important runoff election. Georgia, you have to vote early. Do whatever you have to do. Get your votes, your absentee ballots done, however that election is being run in Georgia. But do whatever you guys have to do. We have to come out just as strong as we did in the presidential election. This is for Raphael, Reverend Raphael. They're going to come out with some of his dirt. What Loeffler plans to do, her strategy is also to speak to all of the voters. Don't let them tell you what the Democrats are going to do. Don't be so gullible. They're going to lie. And another thing they're strategizing to do, they're strategically going to go after the people that voted for Biden. Okay? They're going to go after the people that voted for Biden, especially the ones in the suburbs. Just be on alert. That's all I'm saying. Even if they gave you, let's just say the judge says, all right, Trump, go ahead and get Pennsylvania. Dude, you still don't have enough. You got to turn over a whole bunch. It's just, Trump, go home. Go home. It's time to face the music. It's a wrap. It really is a wrap. You know what's sad? This is who I fault. The Republican senators, those of you that are in the president's ear, why don't you tell them the truth? I mean, you guys really created this monster. Now it's time to put him to bed, give him his pacifier, and send him on to the house. It's over. I have no respect for the Republican Party. Democrats, let me talk to you. Yeah, I'm going to get on YouTube. Listen, okay. You guys know what happened in Georgia, right? With Lindsey Graham and how he came out and tried to get the Secretary of State to throw out legal ballots. Y'all need to be all over that like white on rice. Don't let him slide. Don't let up. Y'all let up too easily on stuff. Okay, first of all, you know Lindsey Graham broke the law. You know that, right? And the country has said who they want for their president. Whether you like it or not, you're just going to have to get over it. He's going to have to just get over it. Because January 20th, you got to go, Trump. You ain't got to ever concede, bro. And listen, y'all know he's not going to go away. You know that, right? You do know that even if Biden is sworn in, you know Trump, first of all, he's probably not going to show up. He's not going to go away. He's going to be on Twitter and causing confusion wherever he can. Another thing today, did you guys see 50 Cent's confession? Okay, first of all, it looked so fake. And you know why he's having to do this. He's like, I don't want to lose you people. Like, y'all my peeps. I mean, it's like, dude, you were willing to sell your soul to the devil. $500,000, I can imagine that's a lot of money. But you were going to basically lie and push through a president that could care less about your people. I know. Because that 50 Cent thing, I was just like, I was shaking my head the whole time. I was just like, wow. It just didn't seem genuine to me. I'm sorry. I mean, you did it. You know. He never, you know what I noticed? He never said whether he got the money. He just said Trump offered it. Because, I mean, you did come out for him, so did you get paid? I don't know. I might need to look at that video or research that. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, he never said whether he got the money. And then he threw the attention over to Lil Wayne, who I don't think anyone listens to him, but he threw the attention over to him by saying, yeah, I'm sure he got paid. I'm sure he got paid. He wore the t-shirt, the sweater and the hat, and it's like, come on. I mean, it's not funny because it's not about Trump being a white Republican conservative that you're pushing, but you're also pushing someone with racist tendencies. Where is Trump? Where is he? Listen, I started my show off Whiners, Wieners, and Wieners. We're still talking about a whiner. Now he becomes a wiener. Okay? He's a wiener now. Because listen, dude, where are you? What kind of president? I mean, this is so embarrassing that we even have to talk about this. I mean, really. I bet other countries are like, what's going on in America? The president, he's hiding. He's a coward. He's talked so much. See, this is what happens when you run your mouth too much. Y'all know that saying, they say, don't write a check, your A can't cash? Yeah, see, y'all talked about Biden. Oh, he's in the basement, sleepy Joe, dementia. Isn't that something? He didn't have half as many rallies as you did, Trump. He didn't tweet hardly ever. And he still won. Because people want more than a clown in office. We're looking for someone with substance. They laughed at you. Yeah, the people laughed at your jokes. They were funny, some of them. But COVID is no joke. So why don't we place demands on this man? Do your job. Now, if that was Barack Obama, let's be real, and he were disappearing like this and not coming out to address the people, just saying to hell with COVID, can you imagine what the headlines would say If Obama did this, just disappear, well, I don't want to do the job. I'm pouting. I'm being a baby. You know, I didn't win, so to hell with you. Because that's basically what he's saying. He's saying to hell with you. I didn't win. Y'all didn't help me out. And now he's sulking. Oh, Wiener. Oh, but the winners. Let's get to the winners. Well, the first one that comes to mind is President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. Because they did win. I mean, aren't we talking about an election today? And aren't they the winners? I know it. I know you guys say, well, LA isn't certified. That's a wrap. Okay, get over it. Your lawsuit's garbage. They're going nowhere. Giuliani, go home. I mean, everybody knows he's an idiot. Or like the other people from other countries would say, he's an idiot. What? This is your attorney, Trump? Come on, boo. And I'm going to tell you why he probably got Giuliani. Because the other ones were probably like, dude, no, we're not taking this. Now they're afraid that they may lose their licenses. You should. You idiots. You should lose your license. If you know you're going into the courtroom with information that is false and you don't have anything that you have any evidence of fraud, but yet you file these lawsuits wasting the court's time, are you serious? You should lose your license fooling around with Donald Trump. But the one that I think about the most, that I think was more dead on than anyone, was his niece. She is dead on. She said he will do anything to win. She didn't lie. She said he's only going to get worse. Dead on. And he is getting worse. Because now, you know what? I want you Trump supporters, because y'all quiet. All those that used to talk all that noise to me, you're quiet. You're mighty quiet. You know, one thing I want you to remember is Trump is showing you who he really is. He didn't win. Now all of a sudden he doesn't care about the American people. But I thought you cared about us. I thought you cared about every single American. I thought that's what you were there for. That was rubbish. That was rubbish. He doesn't give a squat about you. And she said it. Mary Trump said it. She said he doesn't care about anybody but Trump. Do you believe it now? Y'all know it. I know what's happening. I know. Bendito. I know. You just don't want to admit that you were following a fool. I know. And you didn't realize that he was dumb as a rock. I know. You thought that you could just put any old Caucasian person in there that you thought was good in business and he could change the world. But he was an idiot. You couldn't have found a dumber one. I mean, if you're going to get a racist, at least to get one that's not a baby. Okay? That doesn't have to be coddled every time something doesn't go his way. Like, who has time for that? I didn't even do that with my kids. I'm just being real. Who has time for that? I mean, really. But that's what you guys created. This is what you guys are looking at in this country right now. This is what happens when you are yes people. Yes. Yes. You're doing wonderful, Donald. You're doing wonderful. Yeah, you're doing great. The people love you. They lied to you. If you ever watch the Ella Johnson show, I'm going to tell you what's real. Let me tell you what really happened. You went into this White House, and they probably told you that you really don't need to know anything about, politics. That's fine. You're a good businessman. We found out that was a lie. But what they didn't tell you, Trump, was that you do have to have compassion for all the states. Like all the people that are even in Democratic states, the people that are that don't vote for you and don't like you, you still have to be a president to them as well. And they probably didn't tell you that you got to have some compassion for people at some point. They probably didn't tell you that, you can't come into the White House and think you can use your power to pay out prostitutes and think you're going to get away with it. No, just because you're the president doesn't mean you're going to keep that out of the headlines. I think Trump was probably the most, reality TV show kind of president we've ever had. He's the fool y'all thought Obama was going to be. So what you did, just like you did Nat Turner, okay, is you tried to make sure that people don't remember. They did the same thing to Nat Turner. You know that, right? Yeah. They dismembered him though. Because they want to make sure nobody will ever remember this nigga. Okay, why do you think that when you have African Americans that get so big and they try to find every little horrible thing about them and blow it up? Because they don't want them to be part of this history. It's almost like, now we'll let certain ones in, doggone it. We'll give you a couple. She ain't getting that more than that. Well, guess what? That's over with. Because there's a lot of excellence amongst black and brown people. And it's our time to take our place. Now, if you agree with me, subscribe. Just say, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show. We'll see you next time.